If you're a pet owner, you'll do or spend just about anything to keep your cat or dog safe and healthy.
But there's a monthly medication that tens of thousands of pet owners say is making their furry family members sick. Tanya O'Rourke is on your side with an investigation about pets and pesticides.
Joey likes to lie low. He's only 10 years old, but the last 5 years haven't been easy. The bills and pills piled up after a routine visit to the vet. Joey was getting his second dose of Frontline, a preventative flea and tick treatment. His owner, Jan, says 48 hours later, her healthy dog was vomiting and lethargic.
I wondered every day if he was going to make it.
Jan spent $10,000 to save Joey, and she's not alone. In Texas, it took $5,000 to save Sassy. And we found similar stories across the country.
He will probably always have a wobble when he walks.
9 on Your Side looked at hundreds of regulatory documents, government databases, and court cases to find out what's being done to protect your pet from reacting to a flea and tick product. They're sold over the counter by several companies, in shampoos and powders by companies like Hearts, and Spot On products that you apply to the back of your pet from companies like Frontline and Advantix. While there are a lot of options, the EPA says it only saw a sharp increase in reported reactions to Spot On treatment. In 2009, the EPA launched an investigation, and in 2010, it warned the public. Complaints have decreased, but our investigation of the latest data found there were still 34,800 complaints in a 16-month time span.
You take into account the billions and billions of doses of these flea products that are used on there. How big a percentage is 34,000 compared to billions?
Dr. David Conkle is vice president of the Ohio Veterinary Medical Association. Conkle believes Spot On products are safe.
I'd be willing to bet that upwards of 99% of the adverse reactions that are reported, there's actually something else going on in that animal that contributed to its demise. It was just a coincidence that that flea product was used on them.
In a letter, Frontline's parent company, Mariel, told Joey and Sassy's owners that the symptoms of their pets were not consistent with the use of Frontline.
It seems like our problems, even though they're in the thousands and growing, are sort of minimized.
Pet owners aren't the only ones continuing to fight. The Humane Society of the United States wants change.
I think we're really only scratching the surface as far as the number of actual injuries and deaths that occur because of these products.
The Humane Society wants a national poison control hotline so complaints are processed in a central location. Right now, consumers complain to the manufacturer, and that information is passed on to the EPA. Those who have complained still wonder if their situation ever ended up at the EPA.
Why would the EPA allow the manufacturers to police themselves?
The EPA didn't want to talk about it, but public documents revealed the EPA's own investigation found more detailed data is needed about each adverse reaction. The EPA, however, still isn't gathering that important information. The EPA is focusing on labeling changes, saying current warning labels are hard to read, buried in text, or not specific. Still, it believes many of the adverse reactions are caused by misuse, saying pet owners are using dog products on cats and misdosing the product. Lawyers across the country are filing lawsuits against the makers of many of these products. Again, the complaints are for a variety of products. We contacted the major companies, and they all say their product is safe and complaints are low. Clyde and Carol.
All right, Tanya, thank you. And